Greetings, dear viewers. Today I'm going to be talking about this Kotaku article. Star Wars Outlaws backlash proves we need more women protagonists. A woman of color is in the lead of Ubisoft's upcoming open-world Star Wars game. Wow, really hard-hitting stuff there. Ubisoft's open-world Star Wars game is one of the most hyped titles to come out of Summer Game Fest 2023. And its GTA-esque gameplay, oh my gosh, an open world, must be GTA. Intriguing players, its sexy droid turning them on, and a woman protagonist making chuds very, very angry. I doubt that anybody's being turned on by a droid. Droids aren't sexy. Especially in the Star Wars universe, droids aren't sexy. They're machines. And of course, chuds. I don't know who they're making, but let's see if she gives an example, shall we? I'm assuming it's a she, Alyssa. Yeah. Okay, so after Star Wars Outlaws was revealed in the Ubisoft showcase, some Gamergate adjacent gamers took issue with the protagonist, a woman of color named Kay Vess, portrayed by Venezuelan-born actress Humberly Gonzalez. Some begged Ubisoft to let them switch to a male character as they waited for years for an open-world Star Wars game and couldn't bear the thought of navigating through it as a woman. Now, I show the receipts. Because, I mean, I'll be the first one to say, if there's somebody complaining that you have to play as a woman, they're an idiot. I'm tired of people who sit there and think that just because a game has females in it, that it's woke. It's not. It just has females. You can have a female protagonist. There have been them for years, and you know what? There are hundreds of thousands of male protagonists. If you want to play a male protagonist-led game, go play a male protagonist-led game. Don't expect someone to change it just because you don't want it. Get over yourselves. The world should not cater to you. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Others lamented that the lack of lightsabers and men and said no thanks to the concept of anything else. I mean, yeah, there should be men in this game. Like, if you remember the original Star Wars, there was like 2 females. The rest were males. There was Mon Mothma and then there was Leia. So, again, the fact that there's no lightsabers, I don't mind that. 1313 didn't seem like it was going to have lightsabers, and I was excited for that. What I care about is a good game, good gameplay, interesting story. That's what I care about. I do not care what my protagonist looks like for the most part. Unless I can create it, in which case, hell, most of the time, I don't even make it look like myself. Okay, meanwhile, Jedi Survival is right there, brand new and playable, featuring a male protagonist, but Kay Vess presents a much larger issue within gaming in the Star Wars universe, and her role is a crucial one. Let me guess, the misogyny. The misogyny. Whatever. You get some dregs who sit there and say some stupid shit. Other than that, no one I know has ever complained about the fact that they have female protagonists. I've known people who complain about the fact that they make ugly female protagonists, and honestly, I can kind of agree with that. I don't give a crap about a character looking ugly as sin. It's fiction. I want my character to look as good as possible because honestly, I like to roleplay as them. Star Wars Outlaws falls into the more unfortunate center rings on the Venn diagram of bad actors, gamers, and Star Wars fans. You know what? Every single fan base I've ever known is considered to be the most toxic fan base. Here's the thing. Actual Star Wars fans, we don't hate women. We actually like them. We like to have fun with them. I myself have a wife. I enjoy the company of my wife. I enjoy playing video games with her. What we do not like is the Mary Sue. Yes, you even say it right here. Really, from the Mary Sue in general. Okay, Mary Sue allegations. A woman who literally never swam a day in her life, lived on a desert planet, knows how to swim. Explain that. A woman who's never flown off the planet is suddenly a master pilot. A woman who's never used the Force, and yet she managed to Force control a Jedi, or a Stormtrooper. But not a Mary Sue. Whatever. At least Luke had training before he changed somebody's mind with the mind powers. He had training. So no, I don't care what you say. Rey is a Mary Sue and a terrible character. She has no flaws. That's not an interesting character. I would say the same thing if it were a man without flaws. The lead, okay. As mentioned, the vestiges of Gamergate hate campaign linger throughout gamer culture. As such, the backlash should be expected, even if it is just exhausting. Which, yes, this is exhausting. Aside from Battlefront 2, which features Iden Versio as a main protagonist, though there are missions where you play as Luke Skywalker or Han Solo, Jedi Knight Mysteries of the Sith, an expansion for Dark Forces 2 that features Mara Jade as its star, and Star Wars Jedi Fighter, which has Adi Gallia as its lead, though it takes place mostly entirely in a cockpit of a ship. There are no other Star Wars games that lock you in as a female character. You know, most of the games that I play, okay, yeah, Jedi Fallen Order locks you in as a female character. I guess Jedi Academy did, but you know one of my favorite Star Wars games was Knights of the Old Republic. And you want to know something you could do? You could be an Asian woman, you could be a black woman, you could be a white woman, you could be whatever you wanted to be. Could you control the character customization? No, not at all. But you know what? You could be a person of color, even back then. So don't tell me that, okay, so you literally list a bunch of different things where, oh, Mary J, da-da-da. But that's all that's it, that's all there's been. You literally sit there, I mean, I understand that there have been a lot of male-driven Star Wars games. I understand this, okay? But until recently, the main makeup of gaming was considered to be male-dominant, okay? For years, it has been considered male-dominant. Therefore, guess what? Most guys aren't going to play as a woman. It's not being sexist. They just don't want to play as a woman. Me, I don't care. I just think it's stupid if anybody does. There are plenty of games that make you play as a male character, from the widely popular Star Wars Jedi games to The Force Unleashed and all the movie tie-ins in between. Or they let you choose between male and female characters, as in the LEGO games or a handful of Star Wars Episode 1 games or the Knights of the Old Republic or MMOs. As you can imagine, that choice often keeps misogynists quiet. Yeah, it's almost like they don't actually care. But K-Vess is a female version of many Star Wars characters, a rogue, a rebel, a scoundrel, and a rapscallion. She could easily step into Han Solo or Cassian Andor's boots. How about you don't be the next Han Solo? How about you don't be the next Cassian Andor? How about you be the first K-Vess? Don't, like, that's the problem with you trying to copy and fill the footsteps of other men. You're never going to hold up to that standard. Harrison Ford's Han Solo was an iconic performance. There is no woman on this planet, just like there is no man on this planet, who is going to be able to fill those shoes. Let's face it, the guy in Solo tried. He failed. You going to claim that was misogyny? Okay. She can easily okay, but she's got an adorable companion creature, just like Jedi survivor Cal Kestis, and she's got a smirky sass that makes so many other Star Wars scumbags so lovable. On paper, she's the perfect lead for an open-world game of Outlaws. It's just the fact that she's a she that's the problem. It's unsurprising that women-led games would receive backlash even now. I guarantee you they don't actually receive backlash. Like, backlash just sounds way too strong of a word. Like, seriously, I'm sorry to say it, but no. There's not backlash. There's a couple of idiots on Twitter saying, oh, this sucks, I gotta play as a woman. And you know what? Those are brain-dead incels who honestly shouldn't be given the time of day. So this article is a waste. But you know what? You haven't provided any receipts. All you've said is that this stuff happens. Where's the evidence? See, I hate journalism where you don't actually provide the evidence. You just say men are complaining. That's not journalism. What she's saying is nothing more than, oh, there are men out there who say that they don't like it, and yes, there may be a few incels who are out there claiming that, oh, woman bad, but in reality, those type of people aren't supposed to be given the time of day. And honestly, that's all there is. She doesn't give receipts. She doesn't show any evidence of this. She just says, "Oh, men are mad." She did bring up the fact that, you know, when there was peach fuzz on Aloy, and apparently that caused people to complain. And I love this. Aside from the Horizon series, which got backlash for giving protagonist Aloy realistic peach fuzz, because men do not know everyone has a thin layer of hair covering their entire bodies. You'd be hard pressed to find a single a AAA game led entirely singularly by a woman. Tomb Raider, Horizon Forbidden West, the Alien Isolation game. I could come up with plenty, honestly. Like that's a lie. That's literally a lie. I can't, like, she's just saying stuff with no evidence to back it up. Okay, yeah, you got Lara Croft, Metroid Prime. Okay, Ubisoft has historically had its own problem with centering women protagonists, as well as a sordid trail of sexual misconduct claims that directed at its executives. As Polygon reported back in 2014, the company abandoned female-led protagonists in Assassin's Creed Unity, essentially saying that they weren't worth the additional work. It's a double standard. It's the double animations. It's the double voices. All the stuff that. Okay, you know what? You're talking about that back in Unity, and even though the canonical version of Assassin's Creed Odyssey is Cassandra, I'm pretty sure that Eivor is supposed to be a female too. So again, you're lying. You are telling blatant mistruths. He said, oh, it's to double the animations, just double the voices, all the stuff, the double visual assets. The then creator said, especially considering we have customizable assassins, it's really a lot of extra production work. Again, you're talking about when this happened during Unity. That was like 3 games ago. And since then, 2 of those games have featured a female protagonist that you could choose. And honestly, it is known basically that Cassandra in Odyssey was the better choice. So you're lying. And for Blue and Jason Schreier detailed back in July 2020, Ubisoft reported issues with how it treated women employees have bled into inability to center a female protagonist. Okay, that's literally probably not. I mean, Jason Schreier is known to be true, but at the same time, I'm thinking she's making false honesty. This stuff is false. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Origins, and Odyssey were all meant to heavily feature female leads, but as their production advanced, their roles shrank. With Odyssey, Jason Schreier said the team originally proposed to make the sister the only playable character, according to 4 people who worked there until they were told that it wasn't an option. So while it's unclear if the reported internal issues of Ubisoft have been resolved, the centering of women characters in Star Wars is a breath of fresh air, both for games with sci-fi fantasy and games made by the studio. Kay Vess represents something much bigger than just a new character in an open-world Star Wars game. She's a woman of color in a world historically devoid of them. Created by a studio notorious for shrinking its female characters, another lie. Okay, just because they gave you the choice to play as a male or female in Assassin's Creed does not mean that they lessened the role of the character. If you play as that character, you are that character the entire game. This just proves why Kotaku is garbage journalism at its worst. Because this is not anything about the game. It's just about the fact that there's a woman protagonist, and apparently there are some men mad about it, though she can't even provide evidence. There's no pictures, there's no tweets, there's nothing. They're just men mad. And men, apparently all men, don't realize there's peach fuzz on woman's hair. See, that's a broad statement. That'd be like me saying that all women have mustaches that they have to shave. And it's really gross. That's not a true statement at all, I'm sure, but you know what? Blanket statements can tend to piss anybody off. Anyway, so what did you think of this? This just sounds like another thing of crap, doesn't it? Let me know what you think. I'll see you next time in the Twisted Nightmare Studio.